Okay, we are streaming on YouTube. So, good morning, everyone. We're testing the NQ open, and then we'll be getting ready for the Bank of Canada rate decision. So my gut feeling still is the NQ is going to burst to the high. So if it's really hard to wait those 20 seconds when it's so close to the high, so close, 40 points. I mean, years ago, do you remember how much a 40-point move was on the NQ? It was monstrous, monstrous. Now we don't even blink. Okay, we got a minute till the open. It's sometimes hard to wait those 20 seconds if it starts bursting, um, especially because I don't have a lot of faith that it's going to keep going up. Although, the markets have been pretty darn negative. Aren't we due for a pretty good day, an up day for a change? I'm still going to try and be patient. I may not be able to be. I may just jump in long for a test of that high, a scalp, really. Let's see what happens right at the open, which is coming in 9 seconds. Okay, so the market's open. I'm going to try and sit loose. Okay, I think it's going to do what I said. You don't have to rush. We don't have to rush yet. Don't have to rush. It's now 20 seconds. It's certainly not, but well, maybe let's see. I'm going to take that long. I may regret it. I may regret it. I think this market struggles to go up. It's a heavy, heavy market. I'm going to combine my orders into a scalp. So I'm looking for 30 ticks. Not quite the burst that I would have wanted. Not quite the burst, but there it comes. And there it is. Okay. Now that was a scalp. Scalp open. I would be done. I would be done trading the NQ open. All right. So that was my scalp. I'm going to reboot my platform because I'm trading the Bank of Canada live. I want to reset everything. There's the high. All right. That's another magnet trade. Another magnet trade. It's been magnets all morning. All right, let me put my charts on what I'm trading. I'm trading Canada, the Bank of Canada rate statement. We'll talk about that. That's a 10 o'clock event. I think I'm going to watch gold on one chart. And like I said, I'm rebooting my platform. I like to do that every now and then when I'm trading. And let me get my videos organized. Give me a second. So I want to talk about the Bank of Canada and certainly what's interesting about this event if you're going to trade it with us. Let's get the news up and we'll get the DMM going, recording it. Okay. Okay, the DMM, it's a trap trade for the Bank of Canada. Let me just do one thing, folks. I want to get my news set. This is investing.com. Come on, come on, come on. Also have Ivy this morning. I don't think Ivy's going to have much of an effect compared to the Bank of Canada rate announcement. I think that's pretty much the only thing going on with the Canadian dollar. But we'll keep the Ivy up. Now, Bank of Canada is a trap trade. It has not been safe as a breakout. However, look what happened to us last month on the trap trade. Last month, uh, there was certainly an unexpected size in the Bank of Canada's move, and it exploded through the trap trade setup, which is the biggest worry for a trap trade is an explosion in price. And that's what happened. Now, I do think it is an anomaly because it has not happened in a very long time prior to that. So but you have to be aware what can happen in an event. So this was July 13th. We had a trap trade on. And I did some back testing. You need more than a 60 tick stop to to have that trade not stop you out. It was a monster move. It was just a monstrous move. So it shot through everything and just hit the stop, which is very rare. It's an anomaly. But it can happen. You just have to be aware those things happen. It's more common for the Bank of Canada to do movement like this. So this is June. Trap trade is a specialized reversal trade. If the market goes up, we sell. If the market goes down, we buy. And in June, it was a little bit slow. So it goes down. It puts you in the market long, and then you're looking for a change in direction. Now, actually, I apologize. I was looking at gold on the left. Let's look at the right because the right was Canada. And Canada's been challenged. This has been a challenged report. It's not been an easy report to trade. So here's the trap trade in June. Watch the right side. So it goes up, and actually, June was fine, actually. Look what happened. It went up and filled you. So June worked. Watch. Price goes up, you're in the market short, changes direction, boom. You can try and get out there. I made a mess of that trade, but you had plenty of opportunity for profit in June. Plenty. Okay. That's what you want a trap trade to do. You want it to go one direction and change direction. Go one direction and change direction. April. I've gone back and tested many Canada trades, and trading it as a breakout is not safe. There's been many whipsaws, many low liquidity events. The only way to trade it is as a trap trade right now. It could, of course, it could change, but even that monster move last event took place so fast, it would have been very difficult to get a good fill. Sometimes you get a trap trade and it just hangs around where it fills you. Sometimes they don't reverse. That could happen. It could happen. So let me show you the setup. If you're interested in trading it, I like to watch gold on this report also. But here's our daily report. So the daily report is a trap. So activate means, so it's a 10 o'clock event, right? Time of the event is 10 o'clock. Activate is 10 seconds before 10 o'clock. Okay? 10 seconds before 10 o'clock, we want our orders to go on the chart. So the activation prep time is 10. Seconds before 10 o'clock. I think what we have to do is just change the way we write this input and just have it say the number so it's clear, so there's no confusion. Because right now you have to figure out what time is the event. 10 o'clock, 10 seconds before the event, you can put your orders on the chart. So activation time, preparation seconds is 10. Time of the event is 10. trading one position for each tier, okay? Each order. So 2 positions. And I'm going to use 20 and 40. Those are my tiers. 20 and 40 with a stop of 26. That's my setup. I'm using a little bigger than 17 and 35. A little bit bigger. You can use 17 and 35 if you want to. It's okay. So my orders are going to be 20 and 40. The time of the event is 10 o'clock. And then my orders are going to show up 10 seconds before the news comes out. Trap, Bank of Canada. Now it could be fast, so be prepared for a fast move. This could be fast. Okay, so one more time. JOBB trap trade. Okay, you're double clicking that. And then the items that you need to change or to check: position size 1, how many contracts are you trading for your various positions, what the stop is. I'm using a 26 stop. And tiers, we list them in a range. You can take anything within that range. So I'm doing 20 and 40. The time of the event is 10 o'clock, and 10 seconds before the event, my orders will appear on the chart. And there will be, so what's the expectation? The expectation is 75 basis points. So I think that we want the expectation. I think there will be a pretty good move, but if it's expected, then it should do what it normally does, and it should very simply go up and down or down and up. That's what it should do. And one more time, double click the trap trade. You choose your positions, how many contracts are you trading? And of course, you choose a stop. And then the time of the event must be correct. That's what actually triggers the trade at the right time. 10 seconds before the event, my orders go on the chart. And my tiers are 20 ticks and 40 ticks. Tiers are just a fancy way of saying brackets. That's all it is. Tiers are a fancy way of brackets. And then, of course, enable. Check your account. And we still, I want my computer to be in sync. So I'm going to check my time sync by going to the website time is, and it says I'm in sync. I do want to thank everyone who's watching us on YouTube. If you want to hit that like button, that would be great. So it is expected that the Bank of Canada is going to raise their rate 75 basis points. It seems like we've got the ECB tomorrow. I think they're going to probably do the same. So it seems like most of the central banks are looking at 3/4 on their hikes. The shame of the world is how one country can do so much damage to the whole world, Russia. Now, it is possible, too, that they could just raise it 50 basis points. That would surprise the markets. It is expected that it'll be 75. So the idea of a trap trade is if the price goes up, we sell. If the price goes down, we buy. And as it changes direction, that's where our profit comes from. So KT, you have to use a third-party program. You have to download Dimension 4 and use the program to sync if you're not in sync. Now, a trap trade, we're not nearly as critical on time, KT. I mean, how far behind are you? 0.7 seconds is really on a trap trade, nothing to worry about. You know, if you wanted to, you could put your orders on 9 seconds earlier if you wanted to. It shouldn't make any difference on a trap trade. On a breakout trade, I want to be in sync exactly. I really do. A trap trade, we're putting our orders on the chart 10 seconds before the event. And I could put them on 7 seconds before the event or 5 seconds. They're all acceptable. Time is a little bit less critical. It's still important that the event be at 10 o'clock. In other words, the time of the event in the setup is always the time of the event. But the preparation, it's interesting. Years ago, when we first started using the trap trade, it was pretty incredible. We used to put our orders on 30 to 45 seconds early. So I'm just hearing some news in my headset. You they're talking about the housing markets are still very high, very inflationary. And one of the things that all these rate hikes normally do is slow the housing markets. And the housing markets have slowed, certainly in the US, but it's still, prices are still very high. I think they were saying something like 18% higher. And I forget it, I don't want to give wrong info, but suffice it to say that there's a lot of inflation still in housing prices. You're probably not getting quite as many offers on the same property, but certainly there's a lot of, I think houses are still selling. So we're just waiting. We got about 5 minutes. And so again, just what we're looking for is a move in multiple directions. Initially, we would look to get filled on the first move, and then if it changes direction, which we're counting on, that's how we get our profit when it changes direction. And then we will be back at 4 for the API report. And I'm certainly going to watch the beige book, but I just haven't been able to come up with a stable setup for that event. I think it's going to move the market today because it's a Fed report, but we just don't have a setup. It might move the NQ. It might be a breakout. It might not. It's been very difficult to find a reliable setup. So 10 seconds before the Canada rate statement is announced, our orders will show up on the chart. So again, I do want to thank everyone on YouTube that's watching us. We're trading the Bank of Canada rate statement. And if you feel like hitting that like button, we'd really appreciate it. And I'm watching gold on the right side and looking to trade the Canadian dollar on the left. And we've got about 2 minutes or so, 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. And remember, 10 seconds before the event, our orders will show up on the chart. Now, there are tiers. Tiers are orders. So a trap trade puts double brackets on the charts. Sometimes just your first tier gets filled. And you notice there's a bunch of buttons. Cancel button. That cancels the outer tier if only one tier gets filled. I'll try to talk, if the trade's not so fast, I'll try to talk through it. So we've got a little bit more than a minute left. I'd be very surprised if we didn't get filled. I certainly think we'll have a fill. So you'll see 10 seconds before the orders will show up, and I'll try and adjust my screen. You want to be able to see all your orders and the stop. So here's our orders. Okay, now that's a setup. Okay, so it filled our first tier. It's going down. Okay, so we made $165 in a second, 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Okay. I took that profit because it only filled one tier, and it is a choppy trade. I believe now it's going to go up. Okay, I think it's going to change direction. By the way, Ivy was monstrously positive. Monstrously positive. So that was a $165 trade on one quick contract. And I'll play the video and explain what happened. It was so fast, I couldn't explain what to do. But I'd like to show everybody the video and explain what happened with the trap. We got out at the perfect time. Okay? It was a perfect exit. Now, it's too bad it didn't fill both orders, both tiers, because it would have been double the profit. You know, I went from a negative almost $150 to positive on the day. So it was a good trap trade. Now, look, you could have stayed in. You didn't have to jump out. And now it would be working again. You don't know for sure that you're going to get that second opportunity or a third opportunity. You don't know. It would have hit, probably would have hit the target though. Let me show you. Let's look. Let's look at the video. Did anybody else trade that? Yeah, the Aussie. So I was very frustrated with the Aussie trade. Did anybody trade that with me? Eva, did you trade it live? It did hit the target. Susanna, you traded. Anybody trade it live? Susanna, you traded it live? Very good. Good for you. Good for you. Nice trade. Nice trade. Darren, good for you. That was an easy trap trade. And look, all the testing, I have to say my heart was in my throat because I was worried because of what happened last month. Last month was such an anomaly, though. Look what happened last month. It really was an anomaly. This is the enemy of a trap trade. This is the great enemy of a trap trade. An explosion in one direction. It destroys the trade. There's our orders. And then it was such a dramatic move, it blew through the stop. I mean, it was a monstrously bad trade. That's the enemy of the trap. Let me show the video today, because today it was exactly what you want to happen on a trap trade. And trap trades Some of them are really working well. US retail worked incredibly well last month. Now, I did a lot of testing before this trade today. There was no there is no opportunity to trade the Bank of Canada as a breakout trade unless you want to lose money every month. It's a disastrous way to try to trade this event because it jerks up and changes direction almost all the time. So let me show you the video and explain the trap trade a little bit better. 2 seconds. Now, you can certainly trade more contracts on this event also. Now, all of a sudden, there's a ton of people. Thank you all for watching on YouTube. Let's, Chantal, we're going to keep the room open for a few more minutes on YouTube. If you hit the like button, we'd really appreciate it. And thank you for watching. We're going to show a video now of our replay of the trap. So just to explain one more time, the idea is our orders hit the chart 10 seconds before the news comes out. Our orders go on the chart, okay? Watch. So right there, our orders are getting put on the chart. We call them tiers, but they're really just double brackets. That's all they are, is double brackets. When the price goes up, we sell. When the price goes down, we buy, okay, for the initial move. And then we get our profit when the price reverses direction after the initial move. The buttons, the cancel button, sometimes only one of the tiers will fill. Like today, it won't go far enough to fill both. You can cancel the outer tier just to clean up the chart, make it easier to deal with. You can close the trade with the close button. The adjust button is more of something we used to do years ago. The idea was when you click the adjust button, when we used to put our orders on the charts 40 seconds before the event, sometimes the adjust button would place your orders a little bit closer to support and resistance. So if you saw that that was a possibility, you could click the adjust button for a better fill. Nowadays, because you can't really we don't usually put orders on 40 seconds before a trade because the markets traditionally have been too volatile. This trade we probably could have. But generally, we're putting our orders on 5 and 10 seconds before events these days. So we have our tiers, and what happened was the price went up and filled us short, but it only filled one order. And look how fast it did it. And look how fast it was already reversed. The beauty of the trap trade. We were in profit in a nanosecond, okay? It went up, it filled the first tier, and it's gone now. And it's already starting to reverse. I brought my target up just a little bit. Bingo, $165 out of the trade. And then it changed direction. Not enough to stop you out by any means, though. But it would have hit the first target. The trade was over, okay? Because we only had one target. It only filled one target. So the trade ended when that target was hit. So it fills, creates a target. The opposite orders are the targets. And it did go a little bit further. Right there is where it hit the target. But see how low liquidity and weird the Canada dollar can be, the Canadian dollar? And it's the real reason why the breakout trades struggle on most Canadian trades. There's no liquidity. There's wicks. Not a lot of, is very quick, herky-jerky reversals. Perfect for a trap trade. Okay. So I hope everybody's clear on how that went. All right. And I think we got out at the right time on this particular trade. Well, we didn't have a choice. The truth is it would have hit the target. So you could have moved your target if you wanted to, try to go bigger. But the target was pretty big to begin with. It was a pretty big target because it's the opposite side. It's your opposite orders. It's your opposite orders. Anybody have any questions? So the morning's over. Good oil open, good gold open, good NQ open, good Bank of Canada, right? You just got to keep trading. Australia's been hurting us. You just got to keep trading. If you didn't take any trades, I wouldn't have made it back, right? You just got to keep trading. Trade the reports that you think give you a probability of making a profit. Those are the reports I like to trade. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Susanna, very nice trading. Very nice trading. I want to thank everybody on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next week with our stream of the week next week. So hit that like button on your way out, and thank you again for watching.